Hello everyone, this is Chelsea Hardy with Shine Don't Run episode 40. Yes, this is the big 4-0. Today we are continuing our B.R.A.V.I.N.G connection with someone series, the definition of trust, and today we will be going over the letter N. Hello again everyone, this is Chelsea Hardy with Shine Don't Run episode 40 for Motivational Monday. Today we will be continuing our B.R.A.V.I.N.G connection with someone series, the definition of trust. For those of you that have stuck by me throughout this series, I hope that you have found it very inspirational, very informal, and very much of value to you. Thank you again to all of you. I very much appreciate you all. This is episode 5 of 6 as B.R.A.V.I.N.G is an acronym, B.R.A.V.I.N.G. Today we are going over the letter N. If you have missed the first 4 episodes of this series, stick around till the end of this video because I will be linking that playlist right there at the end. Before I continue with this episode, I really want to put the spotlight on the person that is behind this entire series. If you have not heard of Brene Brown, she is an amazing author and speaker and has written many books such as Daring Greatly and The Gifts of Imperfection. So if you find this entire series of value, please go and check her out. And I know that I talk about her every episode, but I really want to make sure that she gets all the credit for all of this amazing information. And as always, before I continue with this episode, I really would like to go over the definitions of trust and distrust as defined by Brene Brown. Trust is choosing to make something important to you vulnerable to the actions of somebody else. And distrust is what I have shared with you that is important to me is no longer safe with you. I feel that these are very important to go over every time so that we can clarify these definitions while moving forward in braving this connection with someone. So without further ado, let's go over the letter N. N stands for non-judgment. I can fall apart, ask for help, and be in struggle without being judged by you. And you can fall apart, ask for help, and be in struggle without being judged by me. If you cannot ask for help and they cannot reciprocate that, that is not a trusting relationship. I really want you to think about that and think about how strong and how amazing those relationships are where you are able to come to somebody and really truly ask for help and feel that you can be very vulnerable with them and not be shamed or judged by somebody. Those relationships, honestly, whether a friendship or a partnership, are so extremely rare. And if you have somebody like that in your life, please hold on to them for dear life. Don't take them for granted. Make sure that they always feel appreciated for being somebody that is that valuable to you. Wayne Dyer says, "Be someone that judges no one." I would like to share this short clip from this inspirational man that put the biggest smile on my heart.
One of the things that I learned in studying the I Am discourses is that you can never know the way to higher consciousness as long as you have judgment, criticism, or condemnation towards any of God's creations. So it's getting rid of the judgment. You know, you look at all of these beautiful flowers out here, and then you see a whole string, and someone said to me, "Well, that's just a whole field of weeds." And I said, the only difference between a flower and a weed is a judgment. It's just a judgment. And if you can get past judgment and just, the Beatles had it right. It's just let it be. Just let it be, and just allow and be in a state of gratitude. I just went for a swim at your Y over here and came back and got into the shower, and it was a nice warm shower running over, washing my body. And I constantly remind myself to stay in a state of gratitude just for the shower, and it was all misty and kind of cool out there, to appreciate the mist. And when you're in the swimming pool, to just appreciate your body being able to move through the water, and to stay in that state of gratitude and appreciation for everything, whoever you encounter, even the things that you think shouldn't be coming your way. They're oftentimes the greatest gifts that you've ever had. It's like, I haven't had alcohol in my body for close to 30 years now. And those years of drinking and those years of being out of control and the painful things that we have back in our early life, my years in an orphanage and so on, those are the greatest teachers that have ever come my way. You know, my father walked out on us, abandoned us, didn't have anything to do with any of us. And it turns out he was one of the greatest teachers that ever came into my life. I don't even know that in this universe that he incarnated into this world to do one thing, and that is to behave like a jerk, you know, towards all of it, so that I could get to a state in my life where I could end up at his grave, and rather than being full of rage, forgiveness. And forgiveness is like, you know, what Mark Twain often said, that forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. To be able to send love. And I mean, that's the message of all of the great spiritual masters. That's what Jesus' message was. You know, just be an instrument of love. Just send love wherever you go. And when you have that kind of divine love within you, you know, everything in your world just seems to change. And things start to work for you because you're aligned, finally, with the source from which we all originated, which is God.
We know that in times of anger, hurt, and injustice, it is so easy for criticism and judgment to come up, especially with those that we truly love and care about, because that hurts so deeply. And while those feelings will arise and they need to be processed, it is up to us to choose not to live in those states, to process those feelings and to let go of the anger and the judgments and the criticisms. I feel that Wayne said it perfectly in that video where he said that the only difference between a flower and a weed is just a judgment. And if we were to start to look at things that way throughout our lives, I feel that our perception would be much different when it comes to certain situations and circumstances. We tend to assign value to needing help, meaning that when you think less of yourself for needing help, whether you're conscious of it or not, offering help to someone else will cause you to think less of them too. You cannot judge yourself for needing help and not judge others for needing help. We have to be careful and remember that if we get value from being the helper in a relationship, we start to believe that that is our worth. But real trust does not exist unless help is reciprocal and non-judgmental. My call to action for you today is to take some time, take a step back, and reflect on areas where we tend to judge and where we can start living in love instead. And I would really love to hear from you. I would love to see comments below to where you share your ideas on how we can start living in love towards others instead of criticizing them. Also, next week is the last video of this series as we go over the letter G in our B.R.A.V.I.N.G connection. I would really love to hear from you. I would love to get some feedback and know what content you're interested in, what intrigues you, as the whole purpose as to why I'm here is to serve you and to help bring forth value, information, and inspiration to you. So again, this is Chelsea Hardy with Shine Don't Run, episode 40 for the letter N, Non-Judgement. Again, thank you to all of those that continue to love and support me and to tune into all of these. I look forward to seeing you all next week as we go over the letter G for our final episode. Again, much love to you all, much gratitude and appreciation, and remember that lighthouses don't run, they shine. Mwah. Bye-bye, everyone.